time on how I broke off my engagement. I know. Okay. It feels a little weird making this video because if you know me personally, I feel like you either expected me to do this video a long time ago or not at all. And I just want to preface by saying that I really only blame him and no one else. So once upon a time, I lived in New York. I was pretty young and I didn't have friends or family there, and I was really just sticking to work and church. And I met this guy about 2 years into living in New York. We met at a youth event, and we had a lot of mutuals, so we already followed each other on Instagram and we had been talking. And when we met, we hit it off and pretty quickly started dating after that. We didn't have like that transition from like friendship to relationship. Everything moved pretty quickly. We dated for about a year, and then he proposed. Again, timeline moved very quickly after that. The apartment I was renting, they actually needed me to move out for personal reasons. Just logically, financially, more than anything, it made sense for me to move back to Oregon. So I did have a place of my own there, and really moving anywhere else in the city was gonna be like at least twice as expensive as what I was already paying. And obviously, like within planning a wedding, like it just financially, it just made more sense to move to New York. It is a conversation that he and I had to move to Oregon or to stay in New York. So we moved and drove across the country during Labor Day weekend, and we got to Oregon on Labor Day. I want to say that the transition for him was, from what I can see, I obviously can't speak for him, but it was very smooth. I think my brother did a lot in like helping him transition from like just church's work. My brother hooked us up, both of us, with a job working from home. Like literally day one we had an interview, and like a week later we both had jobs working from home. So shout out my brother, he's a real one. And this guy fumbled. I'm telling you guys, this guy fumbled. If there was one word to describe this man, fumble. He started making friends at church. He started going out a lot more than I did. I was dealing with things a little differently because I didn't really have the community that I did before I moved to New York. So it was a little depressing for me coming back. But you know, I was focusing on like being with my family again and planning a wedding, which was supposed to be the following August. So September, October go by, and he starts to complain about being homesick, which I get, you know, it was a big move. But again, it is something that we discussed and decided to do together. And I know I said that I only blame him, but I do know that I have a really strong character, and at the time I don't think I was handling stress in a very healthy way, and I do think that played a part in the health of our relationship, but that wasn't the reason why things ended. So December comes around and he's still complaining about being homesick and how he's upset that he's gonna miss this huge event that his church does at the end of every year. Mind you, we're from the same religion, we are from the same ministry. His church does what my church does. I'm still dealing with the stress of the move, the stress of dealing with my parents again, the stress of planning a wedding for my own, and just like, you know, living with my partner for the first time. It was all a lot for me. And so I say, you know what? Spend New Year's Eve in New York, book a ticket, spend the weekend there and get it out of your system. And then when you come back with the mentality that, you know, that as a grown adult, you made this decision and that no one's forcing you to do this. And if you can't, then we'll just have a different conversation. We agree on that. He's excited. He's looking for plane tickets. He books the ticket. This is where things really started to piss me off, because he's on the phone with his mom as he's about to get in the shower. I'm walking by and I hear, yes, my flight lands the 23rd. I come back on the 3rd. New Year's Eve is never from the 23rd of December to the 3rd of January. This was never discussed with me. I didn't know he was going for 2 weeks. as his fiance. Okay, they just opened up the doors for church, so I have to go to practice. There's gonna be a part 2. Part 2 on how I broke off my engagement. Sorry it took forever. Let's get into it. We left off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That would have been a red flag for anybody. 2 weeks. Why don't
He's going on holiday.
I just don't understand? Like maybe it's just us. I don't know, but isn't it normal to leave your partner behind like that? Like I would think if I'm gone for 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, the blackout on these things be killing me. Anywho, I would think if I was gone for 2 weeks, I would probably bring my partner with me. Especially this is a vacation. It's not a business trip.
I ain't gonna lie to you. If my partner don't want to go, I'm going. Don't come along with me nowhere if you don't want to be there. Please don't. Just stay at home, please. I'm begging you.
Shit, I mean, I'm just saying this is crazy. 2 weeks.
But
did she not want to go?
But this is the thing. Imagine being with somebody where you have to hide the fact that you want to go somewhere for 2 weeks. So it's kind of like she's finding out for the first time that he's going that long. But why does he feel like he has to hide that from you? That's a clear sign that y'all do not need to be married. If your partner cannot tell you something in confidence and like know that you're not gonna blow up, which clearly she was obviously upset.
Yeah. So she originally didn't want to go, right?
Oh, yeah, because he was homesick, so he wanted to go back home. And she's like, you know what? Go then. You know, if you feel like this wasn't 100% your choice and you need to go back home and I guess figure out,
right.
And she's making it seem like this is this big deal. So yeah, go back, have a great time. But what you're not going to do is make it seem like I'm forcing you to do this. And this is why I feel like if you get into a relationship too fast or get married too fast, like, you can't communicate with your partner. A year and some is not enough time to really know your partner, communicate with them, and know, certain things. And she said she got a strong character, but she doesn't feel like that was the reason that they ended. But it's like, no matter what type of character you are, if you're in a relationship, y'all should meet in the middle. Yeah, I don't care if you're the aggressor and then this person is super soft. You shouldn't meet aggression with, softness. Like, meet me in the middle.
So she trying to say like the reason why she felt like the relationship failed is because of her personality, her character?
No, because of him. She's like, yes, I'm a strong character. She's like, I have a strong character, but I don't feel like that was the fault. Like, she's putting all the blame on him. When I know 100% this is not all his fault. He honestly sounds like a young man who was just not ready to take that leap.
But why he do it?
Because he was in love. It's like, I want to go back. If you're in love,
put the gun to
I'm saying, if you're in love, right? And that be the case. That's why she's like, just go, just go. But really, it's like, when you're with some people, it really feels like your back is against the wall and you have to say anything to please them. And then later on, you start regretting it. And then this is why years down the road, they're like, oh man, I wish I would have never did that, but I did it because I love that person. When really you did it because you were afraid of how they were going to react. Let's keep it real.
What y'all think?
On him getting his plane ticket, right? And that he was leaving for 2 weeks. It's funny, on my last video, someone commented, replied to a different comment and was saying, oh, what's the problem? Like, he didn't communicate. Like, he didn't understand what, the issue was. He was like, he didn't communicate how long he was going and he wanted to be home for the holidays. Who said that? The issue on its own is that he didn't communicate. You're right. Yes. Thank you for making my point. He didn't communicate to his fiance how long he was going across the country as a newly engaged. Like, what? And then he wanted to be home for the holidays. The only holiday we mentioned was New Year's Eve. Again, New Year's Eve is never 2 weeks long. I stopped recording at one point and I didn't notice, so I found out on a Friday or Sunday. I don't remember exactly which day, but I know that we were coming back from church. And we get in a huge argument on our drive back home. And I remember just kind of giving him the ring back because I was so upset. If you're not ready to spend the holidays away from your hometown after 3 months of moving, you're not ready for a lifetime away, you're not ready for a life away. You're not ready for marriage. You're not ready to start a new life, obviously.
Yeah, that was going to be a long marriage if that's what you're thinking.
A new life means no family? Damn. You were there?
You making them choose already and it's only the beginning.
3 months?
What happened? Hold on. We going by marriage laws? Let's talk about it now. You're supposed to be with them on this journey. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out why you ain't going. You know, it's just like should you meet the parents? I feel like you should meet them again, or you should meet them in general. If you haven't met them, you should be there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that determines whether or not a man is ready for marriage. I think we all just got standards. Our standards a little. I mean, I get why she feels though. Like, oh, she probably feels like, oh, if you can't not be around your family, then you can't be married to me. Like, oh, like we supposed to all unite. That's the whole point of marriage. It's supposed to be. But I get it. If the family's rude or disrespectful to you, or they did something to you, then I can understand why you feel like this way. But if the family ain't did nothing to you, I wouldn't say that that's a good. Like that's why the divorce rate high. Because these are the type of shit we be hearing. Y'all don't realize that these type of relationships takes time. Y'all, first of all, y'all still getting to know each other. Y'all just got married within the first year of knowing each other. I don't care if y'all was dating for a year. Y'all don't know each other really. Unless y'all living with each other full time for that year and can see each other in every aspect, you don't know each other. There's a lot of stuff we can keep from each other. So, but it's like you got to understand that this is just a part of that phase. You got to get to know them, man. This is why marriage rate is so damn. Well, it's actually getting better, but it was terrible at one point because this is how we was thinking.
And this is why in-laws be like, you took my kid away. Because it's like they really want to be there with their family and you're making it seem like it's the problem that they want to do that. If you want to be there with your man for the holidays and it means so much to him about family, then just go. But like you're about to spend it with your family, so you can't sit there and be mad that he want to spend it. This just sounds like this is why you just wait. And
people who have never been married is, you know, they
it's all about sacrifices. If you really love your partner, what matters to them should matter to you. I mean, I'm gonna stand on that.
I mean, yeah. Unless you got a good, back to what I said, unless you got a good reason to why you don't want to go with him, this ain't his fault in this point. I mean, I told you I was gonna go, but if I know you and you act like this, I'm not about to tell you either. I'm like, yeah, I'm going, and you act like you don't care either way. So what if it's a 5 or 7 days? You know. What's the difference? Okay, I was gonna go for 5, and now I'm going for a week, 2 weeks, because now I want to.
And mind you, she's like, yeah, you can go for New Year's. Okay, you're not saying no exact date, so now it's his fault that he going for the holidays. Like you said, I could go, but now it comes with all these rules and obligations, and maybe I got to call you here and call you there because I'm a fiance. Like, damn.
That's why I turned it to 2 weeks.
You didn't say that on the damn. Like, where did you learn what wife, husband, and what fiance, and you know what people should do? We all live in this life for the first time. Y'all trying to follow a rule book or follow what's in these movies when everybody's marriage is not the same.
Yeah, right. What works for one marriage will not work for yours. Like if you got a husband that's used to being around his family and shit, that's a different lifestyle than a man who don't like his family, who ain't being around his family. That's a whole different lifestyle. You're gonna have to get involved in that. If not, then you got to move around. But you know, part of it. What do y'all think? What advice do y'all have? Are we wrong? Y'all, what y'all think? Let us know in the comments.
We're parked outside my parents' house. He gets off the car before me to go inside, and I take a minute to collect myself and then go in. I didn't know my parents were going to be waiting for us in the living room. So obviously, like, they had seen, like, that there was tension between us already, and that obviously something was wrong, considering that he left me in the car by myself and let me come in alone. So they just, like, asked if everything was okay. And I'm pretty sure I was honest with them. I mean, I didn't have a reason not to be. The major issue here was he's going to New York for a long time, didn't discuss it with me. Honestly, the issue was never that he was going without me, yet he never offered for me to go. Like, it was weird. So my dad
That makes sense. I'm sorry, y'all, but that makes sense. Okay, so he never offered her to go.
I ain't gonna like I said in the beginning. If you act like you don't want to go, I'm not about to ruin my time because you want to be fucking rude Judy right here or whatever they be saying. Please just stay at home. Why did you come to ruin my time?
You could have invited yourself.
I wouldn't want to invite her either. I ain't gonna lie. I need a vacation from you.
Yeah, I mean, you could have invited yourself. That's when you had this. That's when you could paint that narrative against him. It's like if you invite yourself and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to go with you. I want to go by myself." Then what you're saying now, it makes sense to us. Now I'm on your side because, like, yeah, that's crazy. You don't want me to go. Do you want to go? But if he, like, I don't know, if he never offered you,
it's definitely given she never wanted to go and did.
Right? Why would I?
Right. You done made it clear you don't even want me to go.
Do y'all not like each other? I need to know the story. I need to know the story between her and her family or something. Because why would he not want to invite you? It's the real question.
I can see why. No offense.
Honestly, trapping.
trying to, like, find a solution for all of us. he goes, okay, well, why don't we put your trip to New York on hold? And we go 2-3 weeks later, all of us, the four of us, like, I'll pay for the trip, because my dad wanted to go to New York to see a family friend, and he was already considering going in January anyway. So he's like, let's just move your trip. Like, if you lose your ticket, I'll pay for your new ticket for the four of us to go. This man got so disrespectful with my father, and like started cutting him off mid sentences. Mind you, he's living in his house for free, might I add. Like, oof, okay. This is where like the dirty laundry comes out, because again, the whole reason why he was homesick is because he wanted to spend New Year's Eve at his church, right? Like, this was the whole thing. Like, he was going off about it for weeks, months. When my dad offered for him to go in January, so essentially he would miss the church event for New Year's Eve, right? He goes, yeah, but I'm really excited to see my son. I miss my son. I have to see my son. My son already knows I'm going. He's already excited to see me. Mind you, we moved across the country, left his son back in New York. I was the one who was fighting to bring his child with us, because how do you leave a 6-year-old with their grandma? Okay, and I don't want to talk too much about that, because like, obviously there's a child involved, and like, he's not mine. But at the moment, like, I was willing to step up as his mother and, you know, like, take on that role. Obviously, that starts before the marriage, right? Like, we're planning our life together. We're planning our marriage. We're planning our wedding. Why would we not involve the child? All right, so he refuses my dad's offer. He's still standing on 10 toes. This is part 3. The last video was really long, so I had to split it up. Let's go. He's still standing on 10 toes. He wants to go New Year's Eve. We ended up like scheduling a counseling session, I guess, with my pastors for that following Friday, I believe. Mind you, I haven't worn my ring all week. We show up to church on Friday. We have the meeting with my pastors, and obviously, like, they're trying to like reconcile the relationship. At the end of the conversation, you know, like, we all agree that like we should continue with the relationship, and pastor asked, where's the ring? And we both looked at each other and we're like, oh, it's in the car. And he's like, okay, like, just bring it in on Sunday. We'll pray for it. Pray for you guys, the relationship, and for the trip. Sunday comes around, and oh my God, we're about to pray for the ring, right? It's like a quick meeting. We go into the room. We don't even sit down. And pastor starts asking us if we still love each other. He asked me first. He's like, do you still love Josue? And I say yes. And he asks Josue, he goes, Josue, do you still love Brenda? I kid you not. This man's response took longer than I'm trying to put my hair up. Like, there was the longest pause, longest dead silence ever. And this man not only says yes after that 5-minute pause, and he goes, yes, but. Okay. Okay. And like, something in me like told me, like, dude, just walk away. Like, yes, but like, what do you mean yes, but? I forgot, like, honestly, I think I blacked out after that, but because I don't know like what happened between the yes but and like what my pastor said to get us to pray for the relationship. I think he said something about like my.
That's the problem right there.
You keep blacking out every time somebody says something
So
about
he's
you.
about to tell you exactly what this is, what counseling is for. It's not to hear what you want to hear. I'm not trying to attack her at all, y'all. I just understand. Maybe she's just young. I don't know how old she is. But that's not what counseling is for. I hate when people go to counseling and then they want to switch the counseling up because the counseling don't fit what they're trying to say. Like, it makes me look kind of bad. Yeah. Because soon as he started to say why he loved you, but he was about to get to the point of what the hell the problem is, and you just tuned it out.
Selective hearing at its finest.
That would have made me leave you at home too, because that's showing me that it's been signs of you not paying me no attention. You ever talk to somebody, you trying to get through to them, and you feel like it's going in one ear and out the other? She just told us it did. She said all she heard was but, and then blacked out. Like, that's why it won't last. It will never last, man. Some women only they want to paint themselves as the center of attention. Like, oh, it's you could do better to make me happy. Yeah, it is a working relationship between two people. He's not right, you're not right. You both gotta work together. Nobody's in the right in this situation. Yes, he's wrong for leaving his in the car. You wrong for leaving yours in the car. Y'all breaking up over little stuff. Like, this is crumbling over, because you want to go out of town. That's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Just like, maybe he feels as though you just don't want to be this family or something. That's why he didn't invite you. Because a man who loves his family will want his woman to see his... Like, am I tripping? A man who loves his family will want his soon-to-be wife, to meet them. If he didn't invite you, it's something internal. Y'all both chose each other. So let's not start throwing out dirty laundry, leaving 6-year-olds with grandparents. Ain't that what they fucking for? Huh? I mean, I ain't got no good grandparents. God rest them, but... Ain't that what they for? It's like don't throw. And then you like the child. You mean your child? Your step? Like the lingo catches me before anything else. It's like I can tell you don't have any ownership in that relationship in general.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck it. This is his life. This is his kid. You're living in my house. Like, I would have left too, because that's a lot of degrading for me.
Once I heard that he left his child with the grandma, I'm not gonna lie, my whole image of how I was describing this man just went out the window. Because it's like, how do you expect someone to treat you so well in a relationship and they just literally left their kid? That's all I'm saying. People will literally show you exactly how
What's wrong with leaving the kid with the grandparent?
While they move to a different state.
Well, the kid's supposed to go when they do that.
With their daddy. They go with their parent. They don't get left with
But don't you got to get settled in first before you get the kid there?
No, he just left. He's not coming back for the kid. The kid is living with grandma now.
Oh.
He done left the kid. And my thing is,
my bad.
Why did he have to feel like he had to not tell you that he just wanted to go back to spend the holidays with his kid? Why did it have to be a secret? And he made it seem like it was only about the church, when really he just told your dad that he wanted to spend all that time there because he already told his kid that he was going to spend the holidays over there. So it's like, it's a lot of things that I feel like aren't being said.
So he the full-time parent of the kid. He left the kid with the grandparent and just left?
Yes.
I feel like some gaps in that. It don't make sense. He had a kid for 6 years and just left him.
With the grandma. But he was probably the guy.
I ain't buying that shit.
The guy was probably living with the grandma and his kid. They was all probably living in a different state.
Right. So they already got a school system.
Right.
Already got shit in place.
Right.
So he didn't want to disrupt that. But they in a safe environment.
His new fiance said,
where's the mother?
The fiance said, why don't we move your son with us? She just said she was trying to get him to move the kid there, but I guess something happened and the kid just stayed with the grandma. So it's like, he's not even fighting to move the kid where he's at.
Allegedly.
That allegedly, that's what she's saying. So it's like, that should show you right there how that person is moving. If he could just get up and leave his kid, that says a lot about a person.
But she still wanted to marry him though, right? That was still your man until he wasn't. Now it's all, he about to leave his kid. You was about to leave that kid too. It's okay when it's not your kid, huh? But now it's like, I don't want to throw him under the bus. Yeah, that's exactly what you just did. Like, but did they ever go through with the plan? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
Attitude, like, oh yes, but like she has a really bad attitude or something. And pastor was like, okay, but she already agreed to working on that. Like we both, me and him, both have things to work on. We're both gonna work on them. Pray for the relationship. We pray for his trip and like the time that we're gonna spend apart. And then he leaves the following Wednesday, and it was just argument after argument as soon as he left. Mind you, he was supposed to hand out our save the dates on his trip. The following Sunday, I wish I still had those pictures, you guys. Like, I remember going to the store with my brother after church and showing him, like, I forgot, like, honestly, I don't remember, like, what we would argue about
while he was there, but I remember like I would wake up with my eyes swollen from just crying myself to sleep. And I think it was like Sunday night, and I showed my brother some pictures because he asked me like how the relationship was going and how like our time apart was going. The next day my brother called me and he was like, hey, what are you doing before practice? And I was like, oh, I have to go pick up my wedding dress. And he goes, well, can you reschedule? And I was like, I don't know, it's super last minute, but I can try. I guess I'll call. And he's like, yeah, he's like, well, can you try? It's really important. Called, rescheduled my dress pickup, my wedding dress pickup. And I pick up something to eat and go back to his house. And he goes, like, I don't know how to tell you this, but, oh my gosh. Okay, so like I said in the beginning, I only blame him. So for these two new characters, I'm going to use fake names because honestly, like, I hold nothing against them, and I actually still kind of talk to these people. We're going to name the guy Paco and the girl Jenny. They are siblings, all right? So my brother and I, just picked up our food, and my brother goes, hey, he's like, so Paco told me that Josue has been talking to Jenny, like DMing Jenny.
I know that was a really long lunch break, but it's my only day off and I had things to do. So let's go. Okay, so we left off on me finding out that Josue is talking to Jenny. Mind you, I introduced Josue to Jenny when she moved back to Oregon. They wouldn't have met otherwise, and we only hung out like as a group one time, so I don't really know when they started following each other on Instagram. I do recall him mentioning her one time when I was kind of like down in my feels about not really having friends in Oregon, and he was like, why don't you hang out with Jenny? She's kind of going through something similar since she just moved back to Oregon. And I was like, you know what, you're right. Before I moved, like, we would hang out occasionally. Like, we had mutual friends. Like, let me hit her up. So I wanted to hang out with her, reached out, and for like whatever reason, it was always just like, yes, let's do this. When are you available? Let's like plan for it. But we never actually got to hang out. This was very early December. I want to say first week of December. I'm finding out about them talking around Christmas. So my brother tells me that her brother Paco says that Jenny's willing to talk to me. She just didn't know how I was going to react initially, but if I want to speak to her directly, she's open to it. And obviously I wanted to hear from her. I messaged her, she called me. From the start, I don't want to be that girl who blames the girl for my partner being unfaithful. You're not the one who's engaged with me. You're not the one trying to start a life with me. You don't owe me anything. I don't really think I got much out of like the actual conversation that we had over the phone. I remember at one point I told her, I was like, listen, the knife's already in, might as well just twist it and yank it out. Like, just, put me out of my misery, tell me everything. And I felt like she was maybe like a little hesitant to be honest with me, and she was like, listen, if I still have any like screenshots, like, I'll send them to you. What I thought was really sucky is that she mentioned that she had been wanting to tell me since I reached out to hang out with her. Again, that was in the beginning of December, meaning for weeks he was in her DMs and I knew nothing about it. We get off the phone, she sends me a screenshot, it's the only one that she has, and it was enough for me to know that he had no real intention of being faithful to me in our current relationship and even in the next step of marriage. It was an Instagram DM of him essentially telling her that she makes him feel something different, something that he's never felt before, and that he's willing to wait for her. I don't know what that means if she was the one who was single and he was in a relationship. So I don't know why he would need to wait for our divorce, babe, that we haven't even gotten to because we're not even married. Like, what are you waiting on? I think the hardest part about finding out this way is that he was across the country and I had to call off my engagement over the phone. He obviously denied it, and I'm pretty sure if you ask him till this day, he'll say he did nothing wrong. He was supposed to hand out our save the dates while he was on this trip to his friends and family and my friends. I remember getting on the phone and calling my friend Jay in New York. Jay, I know you're watching this. You're a real one. And I asked him, I'm like, dude, for some reason I feel like this guy is in denial. He is gonna try to manipulate me or try to convince me that the wedding is on. I don't want him to hand out the save the dates and then for me to look even more ridiculous. So I basically just asked Jay to do some damage control if Josue ended up passing out the save the dates. Thankfully he didn't. So the rest of the week went by. Josue flew in on January 3rd at midnight. I had already packed all of his things into his car because we did drive each of our cars to Oregon. So he was just gonna fly back to pick his stuff up and leave. And because he hadn't given much of an explanation or acceptance to what he had done, I was looking for closure, and I was expecting him to apologize for what he had done. He had the opportunity to make things right, not for us to get back together, but for him to save face a little bit and just apologize. He never apologized, never admitted anything. This is ultimately the most embarrassing part of this whole story, is that we were 8 months away from our wedding. So obviously we had the wedding venue, we had my wedding dress, we had the DJ, photographer, videographer, like we had down payments on all of these things. And this guy left me to pay off the rest of the wedding all by myself.
Now, listen, I know we've been kind of attacking the character of her a little bit, but at the end of the day, nobody deserves to get cheated on. Nobody deserves to go through this in general. Could we say like some things could have been avoided? Maybe. I don't know, man. I feel like in every cause of a relationship, I hate to say that the reason why he's cheating is because of her, though. He's just been this way. He's always been this way. It's just maybe we just didn't have good discernment. I think a lot of us just get so quick to jump into marriage to say like, oh, I'm married. I'm not doing what, and I get it. I know that feels good. You know what I'm saying? To be like, I'm married, I'm sleeping with a man, I'm married. It's different when you sleep with somebody you married, and you being with somebody you married. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I get it. So it's like, maybe we should just kind of wait before we just so quick to jump into that. Because just because you jumped into a marriage doesn't mean God gonna bless it immediately. It's no covenant there. If you got married just because of, let's say, benefits. Some type of benefits of being married. Like, military people do it all the time. No offense to y'all, appreciate y'all service. But a lot of them do it all the time just to get the benefits that comes with being in the military and married. You know what I'm saying? So they think God is in the marriage because, oh, we're married. That's not how it goes. A marriage is a covenant between you, God, and the person you're with. If you've never prayed to God and never introduced God into this relationship, like how they're doing, then God's not going to be in there in a sense. And it got to be a two-way street. It can't just be like, oh, I want this, me and God want this, but him and God don't. He don't want this with God. You know what I'm saying? So it never was a covenant. It would have never lasted. And that's what I was saying from the jump. I feel like it was just built off of, like, what was this being built off of? Was it built off of true love and wanting to be like a covenant with each other and, spend the rest of your life with each other? Or was it just more for some type of beneficial gain? Maybe you said he was living with your dad. You feel me? So maybe it was just more to feel good about living with your dad. I don't fucking know. It could have been something like that. What do you think?
I think when he told that girl that he was going to wait, he was waiting for a way out. And that trip back home was just going to be his reason. Like, you know what? I do miss home and I want to stay.
A lot of these people just be surviving, man. You got to know if you're with somebody who just surviving or who truly, genuinely wants to be with you. When I say surviving, I mean using you. Using you to get to that next pivot in their life. And it's sad because a lot of us fall victim. They will love bomb the hell out of you until they get what they want. Once he got what he wanted, now he's moving on, so it's
I feel like
no way you can see that coming though.
When y'all were living in a different state and you had your own place, it was different in your relationships. And that's why when you in a relationship, y'all have to go through the good and the bad. Not saying that all have to, but if you are put to the test, you see exactly how people move. And the fact that y'all moved under your parents' household, it was probably different for him as a man to be like, I'm living under another man's roof. I'm pretty sure he has to follow some type of rules.
Protocol.
Yeah, so it's like that was probably a whole 360 for him. And at a young age, not everybody just falls in line and can just, you know, adapt to different environments. I feel like it was probably just a lot on him, but for him to cheat is diabolical. And with somebody that you know, and he even recommended that you hang out with her, he did not like you at all.
The one thing I do like about this relationship, though, I mean, about like how they was handling this relationship, I will say this, is that they involved the church. They involved counseling at an early stage. They didn't wait to get married, go through some shit, then get counseling. They got counseling before they got married. That's powerful. I think you should take that to every relationship you do. Because look how, when you get God in your relationships, look how fast you catch the BS, though. We used to hear stories where people take years to notice about their man. But it's like when you already went to counseling, you're going to counseling with your partner, you're kind of learning a lot about them faster.
I would say this. A lot of pastors only will marry you if you go through the counseling.
If you go through the counseling. Yeah, that's what I like, though. I like that. I like that about churches, though, for sure. I do like that aspect. I will say that. So if you are considering getting married or even being in a relationship with somebody, like how, you know, living with them, get counseling. Counseling is not always bad. You can learn each other. Y'all can get help. You can get individual counseling to couple counseling. I believe everybody should get some type of couple counseling before they get married to see and be honest in these sit downs and be honest with each other. Don't be afraid to, you know, let it all out so that way you can learn about each other. And sometimes it takes a mediator, somebody who's skilled in, you know, conversations that be able to help you guys negotiate this. You know, it's like the pastor. If you got a good pastor, he can use the Bible, the biblical sense of, like, you know, guiding you guys, using using, you know, the biblical structure. That makes sense. I know somebody understands what I'm talking about, but this is a good method. I think everybody should do that. That's the best takeaway I could say so far about this story time.
Started asking him for payments, he blocked me. Okay, I'm back. I know it's been a few days, sorry. But A, I've been busy at work, and B, I think I just kind of needed to take a little breather from everything. Also, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the comments who have been super sweet and understanding. And I'm honestly really glad that there haven't been like super like hateful or like weird negative comments. Okay, the next few videos, I think I'm just going to answer questions in no particular order, so let's go. So, yes, I did end up paying all of the wedding debt on my own 100%. It's been over 3 years and I have not seen a single dime from this man. So yes, he did sign all of the contracts for all of the deposits we made. However, I was young and dumb, guys. We decided to open up a credit card with the intention of putting wedding things on the card, paying it off, and with the points, use them to go to our honeymoon. But the card was only in my name. I know you guys are gonna be mean in the comments, and that's fine. Like, I know I gave myself a hard time. It is what it is. It's paid for. It's over with. I did try to sue him, honestly. I did speak to 2 attorneys. Unfortunately, in the mindset of depression that I was in, I didn't want to deal with the legal. I don't know. I feel like I was paralyzed by my anxiety and depression to really take action until it was kind of too late. By that time, it had been over 3 months that he had to return to New York. And the last legal advice that I received was that I would just spend more in attorney fees traveling to New York and staying there than what he would eventually pay back. And then I was told that even if the judge sided with me, that it could still take a while for him to actually pay back. It just didn't seem worth the hassle. I decided to bite the bullet, budget, work hard. Ended up doing a balance transfer. That way I could save on the interest. Still took me 2 years to pay that off. It wasn't easy. I'm proud to say that I did it all on my own without anyone's help, especially not his. It does suck that it set me back significantly financially, but honestly, I think he would have cheated either way. I think if we would have gone through with the wedding, it would have ended in a divorce, and I think that would have been a hell of a lot more depressing, heartbreaking, embarrassing, and definitely more expensive. So a win is a win. I got rid of a bum. Yes, I lost out on some money, but it's probably less expensive than a divorce. So like I said, a win is a win. Amen, amen, amen. Yes, it's been really fun having my New Yorkers commenting and watching my series. I want to give a quick shout out to my young girls at Roca. I know you guys are watching. I have eyes and ears everywhere. So shout out.
All right, pretty much wraps up this story time. At the end of the day, at least you was able to get out of that situation. You're right. Divorce is way more expensive. I mean, way more costly than fucking. I don't know. It depends on how much you spend on your wedding, but yeah, divorce is way. Is it crazy how you can go to the courthouse, get a signature, and that's you getting married? But say if you want to get divorced 30 days later, you know the process that shit's going to go through. Unless you get a dissolution of marriage, which is different than a divorce, you're going through some shit. A dissolution of marriage is typically two people who just mutually agree that they don't want nothing from each other, and and I'm not a lawyer. Go talk to a lawyer about this, but they typically don't want anything from each other, and they just separate everything. Like it's okay. We okay with just walking around what we have, and if you got kids, y'all disagree on everything, and it's way easier, way cheaper. But a divorce could take years. It could take a lot of shit going on, settlements and all that. So yes, it could be very, very, very expensive. I mean, very expensive.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking he was only going to marry her to get that child support fee. So,
Shit.
like, the way that he was just running away from his responsibilities, this is giving, bum. He goes to live with your dad instead of y'all trying to work it out in New York. He goes a cheaper route. Like, let's just go live with your family just to regret it, be cheating on you. I'm pretty sure he was just going to milk you in general because he made you put everything, like the card under your name.
That was pretty smart.
You dodged the bullet for sure. Thank God that you did.
If he was able to do that, imagine the damage he would have did throughout that relationship.
He's literally cheating on you, staying with your parents, lying, can't communicate, running away from his responsibilities.
Yeah.
You dodged it.
Yeah. And y'all still young. She got a lot of growing up to do, a lot of experiences in life that she will probably, come across. And this is just one of those type of lessons that God put in your life. This is just a lesson at the end of the day. Everything can be a blessing at the end of the day if you look at it differently. So I would just say it's a lesson. You live, you learn, you become stronger in this situation, and just never make mistakes like that ever again. Women out there, anybody out there, do not put women. If your man's saying he's paying for the wedding or whatever the case may be, don't put it on your credit card. Don't put it on nothing that he can just leave you with. That's like getting a house in your name. I mean, like not a house, but like renting a house in your name. And he's like, I'm gonna help pay the rent, and then you piss him off and he's gone, and now you're stuck with the rent. Don't do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that everybody has equal responsibility. Just simply putting his ass on a lease will hold him into that. I'm just saying in general, we'll hold him into that contract so he can't just not pay and leave. This will kill us both, But just think of stuff like that, y'all. All right, don't put your marriage on your credit card unless you Rihanna or Beyonce or just some famous people with a lot of money. All right, then you pay for your own wedding. But that's sad. That's sad. I don't think women should pay for their own wedding. But
I wish they would bring back the when they say the father paying for the wedding. Oh my goodness! I bet marriage will be skyrocketed.
Parents supposed to be paying for this wedding.
I mean, dad already paying the rent. He like, come on now.
That's a whole other topic. That's a whole other discussion, man. I'm telling you. Like, where's the everybody want to be traditional? Why y'all don't be paying for weddings no more? Everybody want to be
because
traditional.
Because these marriages don't be lasting, and I'll be mad. Oh, if I was a parent and I paid for this wedding and y'all got divorced in 3 months.
Yeah, we do it the right way, like they did it, getting married and stuff at a young age. You supposed to pay for it, parents. Yep, I gotta pay for my daughter's wedding. It's over. I'm gonna be very crucial, though. Whoever she dating, it's gonna be serious times. But yeah, what do y'all think, Messy Family? If y'all are interested in following this creator, wait, this is not going to mess with me. Would you like to wrap it up? This is actually going on What You Think.
Yeah. If you guys ever had a crazy story like this, let us know down below. How long have you been married or engaged? Did you see any red flags? Did it end in a marriage or did it end with y'all separating? I would love to know down below. Thank you guys for watching. You can check out this TikToker, this creator. You can find her down below. We'll have her tagged. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for coming to What You Think.